All right, we got One Punch Man, chapter 218. Y'all already know, man. Hey, y'all missed me. It been 2 days. I know y'all missed me. That's tough. Let's get it.
Confronting Monster My Mask here, and My Mask is still struggling with his monsterization here. He's still not fully thinking straight, and part of him wants to kill Saitama and be reborn as the ideal hero, and then the other part of him is like, hey Saitama, you should just kill me here, because if you do, then you'll essentially become the most famous.
Bro, Murata is going crazy with the drawing, bro. I'm loving it.
Hero overnight. You know, with the pariah that My Mask has become, exposing to the world that he is truly a monster, Saitama's like, I'm obviously not gonna do that. I didn't really know what to make of you when we had tea at first, but now I realize you're a pretty cool guy. And he's essentially saying, like, despite you being exposed to the world and your entire life's work crumbling in a matter of minutes and fully becoming a monster, you still were able to save all of these people from the pesky clown and that Ferris wheel and everything.
Now that's a true hero.
And My Mask is just like, look what I've become. It's over for me. And Saitama says, you're not done yet. Your story's actually just starting. And he
see when I heard this right here, I'm like, yo, I don't think One Punch Man gonna end no time soon, bro. I don't think One Punch Man gonna end no time soon, Brody.
Touches him on the chest. This is like a recurring theme with Saitama. We've seen him do this a few other times in the series. One of the most notable examples is when he touches Genos. And I guess this is essentially what the core of One Punch Man is. I mean, I know on the surface, it's LOL, this is a funny series about a bald guy who's too powerful that he kills everyone with one punch and he has an existential crisis about it. It's just a gag series, guys. There's nothing to look deeper into it, which some people will tell you, I guess, and that's fine. I understand why you would think that. And I guess part of that is true, not the whole looking deeper into it, but it is parody to an extent, more so satire, I suppose. But one does have a deeper narrative to One Punch Man, and essentially the light versus the darkness. That's like what it boils down to. God, the darkness, the moon, Saitama, the light, the sun. Saitama is Sun Man. That is like what he is. God corrupts people's hearts and brings out the worst in them, making them into monsters, while Saitama does the opposite. So when he's touching people's hearts, he's like showing them the light or undoing the darkness that God has done. That's what One Punch Man is. But My Mask still, you know, conflicted, like grabs Saitama and he's like, hey, you know, I'm pretty strong in my monster form, right? You're gonna have to take me out or I'm gonna pop your head. Obviously, this does nothing to Saitama. Even though we've established recently that My Mask is pretty freaking strong in his monster form, like maybe even High Dragon possibly, it's hard to say. And he is aware that Saitama is the one above all, I guess, but even then, characters in the series, despite knowing that, still don't fully understand how strong Saitama is at that point, which is understandable. I mean, how are they supposed to know? And then Saitama's like, okay, keep holding on to me then. And he,
bro, I like that. Oh, he ain't show the part when Saitama squat down and jump.
He just shoots off into the sky with a My Mask, and that's it. And we don't know where they went, but Saitama is clearly doing a My Mask a big favor here. Hey, also guys, can we get 2,000 likes on this video? I know you can do it. Just grab that phone, tap that like button. It would really help me out and the video, so thank you guys. I appreciate
I'll put a like
Also, there's a crater here left after Saitama jumps off the ground, and we see like a bird's eye view of it with the people all crowding around it. It obviously resembles the crater left in the moon from when Boros kicks, with the people all crowding.
Oh, that brother in deep. I didn't even knew this.
Around it, or Saitama jumps off the ground video, so thank you guys, I appreciate it. Also, there's a crater here left after Saitama jumps.
It's like an eye. Now that you look at it, it's like an eye
off the ground, and we see like a bird's eye view of it with the people all crowding around it. It obviously resembles the crater left in the moon from when Boros kicks Saitama there, but also I think this is symbolism for an eye. I assume this means,
I'm saying, it's like an eye, bro.
That God,
God is looking. God is looking.
Watching this possibly, because usually this is like symbolic for that. I don't think this has to do with Saitama or Ra or whatever, because this is more so a left eye rather than a right eye. But also feel free to get really upset that I mentioned that, because as they're like gone, we hear Saitama saying, you're the one that should become the hero people dream of. You know, a My Mask's big ultimate goal for humanity. So where is Saitama taking a My Mask?
Who knows? Like if y'all saw in the whatchamacallit, but in the whatchamacallit, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but in the whatchamacallit, y'all know in the welcome, y'all know where he at. And y'all know. Wow. Okay.
Guess is as good as mine. We may or may not come back to this soon, possibly, and see what is going on at this point. But like I said, Saitama obviously doing him a big favor, taking him out of the public eye here, because he is like public enemy number one, like literally. But first, guys, stop vaping. I know you're hitting that vape right now, and maybe you thought quitting is impossible. And honestly, I guess it is.
Yeah, I don't vape.
Play with vape. It's all curb and first time Chris 1,000 ready to try using level up zone. So we're getting like an ambiguous time skip at this point, and we're seeing the aftermath of this. The Hero Association executives reacting to this, the news reacting to it. We even see that they were trying to interview Saitama about it, and he's like, yeah, no, don't talk to me. But they're like trying to figure out like, okay, did he actually become a monster? Is this some kind of publicity stunt? Was the footage altered in some way? And it's like, no, this is real. But this is obviously like a huge scandal, not only for the Hero Association, but also their sponsors, who are very upset with what's going on here. And this is happening at an awful time because the Neo Heroes are rising as well.
Bro, I love the Neo Hero, bro. This, I understand people love the monster art, but I love this one, bro. I love the Neo Hero art, bro. I don't know what it is. I love it, bro. It is what it is, bro. I love this one right here.
Well, we saw them a couple chapters back, the new rival organization to the Hero Association. But the main person that we want to
I forget bro name. I forget his name.
Focus on in this sequence here is McCoy, because
yeah,
McCoy somehow figured out that a Mind Mask was a monster, and that all of this is going according to his plan. And you might be thinking like, wait, when? Let's go back a couple chapters. So if we go back to
all these chapter 2. I'm glad, bro. Okay, let him cook. I'm gonna let him cook.
Chapter 190, and that's going by the fan numbering, which is like the actual official continuity numbering. On Viz, it's chapter 188. But after it's revealed that those S-Class heroes had left the Hero Association to join the Neo Heroes, we see Amai Mask come into one of these executive meetings at the Hero Association. And he's reflecting on the S-Class heroes leaving, especially Child Emperor. And long story short, he pitches the idea to them that like, hey, I want to make Saitama the new face of the Hero Association. And he also says that like, you know, while all of you have been sitting here getting absolutely nothing done, I've been expanding my connections in all the areas, politics, government, business, you name it. Now this is the time for me to make use of those. So then he like convinces the executives to go along with what he wants, and this eventually leads to what he does with Saitama. But McCoy's also at that meeting, and coming out of it, he's like, what a fool. Thanks to my own information analysis, I know your true identity in my mask. I set you up as the consultant and leader of the association and gave you connections in high society. When the time comes, I will reveal your identity and cause a scandal. Associating with you could be a liability to the high and mighty, so they'll never forgive you or the association. Then you're ours for the taking, and Neo Heroes will hunt you down. Both elites and common folk will support the Neo Heroes, but politically, bureaucratic, and financial circles will come down hard on the Hero Association. Then I will walk away with the Hero Association's vast store of information and join the highest ranks of the Neo Heroes. So this is all coming to fruition. McCoy knew that Amai Mask was a monster, I guess digging through his background information, which is understandable, I suppose, but it also makes you think like, did he send the pesky clown to the Narinki Park to purposely encounter Amai Mask? Because he knew that Amai Mask was interested in Saitama in that meeting. So it's plausible that he was just tracking him that whole time. And he figured out where he was going, and then he just sent the pesky clown there at the right time, because the pesky clown does just kind of randomly show up. And we know that McCoy does have access to monsters. He's been using them in that hero gambling ring that he's been doing with the other big donors of the Hero Association. So it makes sense that he could just have the pesky clown or whatever, especially because it's a tiger level, and that was the monsters that he was kind of dealing with before. Now, I'm not saying that's 100% the case, because like, how would he know that the pesky clown would have gotten so strong to the point of where Amai Mask would have been forced to change into a monster? I don't know. I mean, it seemed to have played out way perfectly than maybe what he even anticipated, but I don't know, maybe it did work out that way, or maybe it's just a coincidence. But what McCoy is saying there all lines up with what happened. So it wasn't like a bluff. He clearly knew what was going on, and it's all playing out the way that he wanted. Like, he's already been playing both sides of the Hero Association and the Neo Heroes. And really now that the Hero Association is under the most scrutiny it's ever had, he's doing what he said. He's going to use that as an advantage to build build himself up in the Neo Heroes. And all of those politicians and donors and higher ups that My Mask had been mingling with are now going to go over to the Neo Heroes because they're like, oh my god, that guy was a freaking monster this whole time. I can't deal with the Hero Association. I'm going to the Neo Heroes. And it all kind of wraps up with how McCoy is acting so smug here, because he says, most likely they're all just waiting to cash in on this scandal, make themselves look good, sell their stories, and earn a fat bonus. He's projecting here. One really likes doing that with his writing, and I appreciate it. But going further into the chapter,
Watchdog. I've been waiting to see Watchdog, Brody. Let's go.
we find out that Watchdog Man is missing in action for some reason. This is the first time we heard about him in a long time. Watchdog Man, by far the most mysterious S-Class hero left.
For real, bro. Like, bro, like, when I saw that, I'm like, bro, where is he, man? I still think he like in a higher dimension. I believe this character like in a higher dimension, bro. He's so, I mean, he mostly is a mysterious guy and unknown, so we don't really know too much about him.
Like, now that Blast has been revealed and we know essentially everything about him other than like his origin, Watchdog Man is next up with us knowing little to nothing about him. So the fact that he is missing, I don't know why. Maybe once we eventually find out more about him in like 6 years, we can backtrack everything and then it'll be like, oh, this makes sense now because we know this. But
it probably a crazy plot twist too. It might be a crazy plot twist too. I ain't gonna hold you.
Until that time comes, I just don't know much about Watchdog Man other than he's very likely to be based on Hachiko, and that probably has something to go into his backstory or whatever. But other than that, your guess is as good as mine. And we're also seeing that Zombie Man has yet to deliver a single statement or return from his investigation, of course, because the last time we saw him, he went back to Dr. Genus. This was after Saitama had defeated Garo and Zombie Man had witnessed it, and he realized, oh my god, everything Dr. Genus said about this hero that had removed his limiter was true. It had to be Saitama or Cape Baldi. And then he's like, hey, Dr. Genus, I want you to try and remove my limiter.
And bro, he want to remove his too. It's crazy. That will be crazy. That will be crazy.
Dr. Genus was like, you know, this shop actually has a basement. I've got something interesting down there I want to show you. And that's where that ended.
Yeah, that right now. And I'm like, bro, I still want to know what's going on.
Are you going to come back to that? Probably not for another 1 to 2 years in the manga.
Unfortunately, yeah. We ain't gonna see that in a good bit.
Probably just taking a guess. So then after this, we're coming to the Neo Heroes and we're just seeing the news getting like testimonials from them essentially about what happened with My Mask. And they're talking to this guy A, who is one of the Neo leaders. This guy is a hitman with a special A-class bounty on his head, and his combat skills are effective against monsters.
Okay, yeah. Of course. What you kind of told me in the comment Rebel told me like that, yeah, that was is him.
Too. That's like the exposition that we got about him. He looks super sketchy. It's because he very likely is. And we see that like his roots are growing in. I don't know if this is like a design change or one is specifically trying to tell us something about him dyeing his hair. I don't know. But he's essentially just giving like a clean cut response to what had happened with My Mask, putting down the Hero Association and My Mask while putting up the Neo Heroes, of course. I mean, what else is supposed to do? Then we come to Metal Bat's response to what had happened with My Mask. And he says, My Mask, I don't know if you really are a monster or not, but if you forgot what it means to be a hero, then maybe you needed to fall. Being a hero isn't about looking perfect, it's about doing what's right. Quit hiding in the shadow.
I'm back. I heard my Doklo. Get it.
If you call yourself a man, stand tall and face the world. You might fool the association, but you'll never fool us heroes. And that's like real talk from Metal Bat. He's not trying to put up a facade for this camera here. Even though he is like a double agent working with Second Guard to figure out what's going on with the Neo Heroes, he still is loyal to the Hero Association essentially. But what he said here is real. But this is also really interesting because we know that My Mask and Metal Bat have had like their beef all throughout the series. So I like it. I like that he's not necessarily demonizing him, but he's like, hey, come out of the shadows and just admit it. You know, stand up for what you believe in. If you truly are a hero, then prove it. And as we come to the end of the chapter, it says, the world shifts and a new kind of hero rises under a different banner. So
Neo Heroes. Loving it.
But yeah, as it says, we're coming into this shift into the hero world, moving away from the Hero Association's monopoly on everything and moving into the Neo Heroes rising up. And I guess that's where this new arc is starting now, and it's going to be taking us for quite a bit, or at least the next couple chapters. But let me know what you think about this.
Bro, I'm so ready for that one. I'm ready for, bro. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen, man. We here.